This is But the Years Are Short, the podcast where mamas who are therapists share real advice for real families. I'm Meagan.
And I'm Katie, and we want to be your front porch community where you can laugh and learn with us about the beautiful, messy, overwhelming, hilarious work of raising kids.
Because the days are long,
but the years are short. So today we are talking about the perfect childhood, and if that is, number one, even attainable. What does that even mean? And can anybody pull it off? And what does it do for our kids, right? Like, what's the goal? And why do we try to do that?
Yeah.
Why do we try to do that, Meagan? What do you think that's about?
I don't know. I think it's funny because it's, I don't know about you, but it's very different from my childhood. I think my parents worked really hard to make things special. We had like a birthday day where on our birthday we got to choose the restaurant we had to go out to eat, which was like a really special thing. But we did not do a bunch of things. Like we didn't have the elaborate balloon arches or the signs of welcome home, first day of school, grab a cookie, all those things. And so it's just one, obviously, I don't know if y'all could, see, boom, 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 boom.
Nailed it. Okay. So,
so we didn't have those as a kid, and I don't do those things, Katie. Like that's not necessarily part of like my reality. And I don't know if I don't do them. That's what I was thinking. Like I don't mind seeing them. So like, if I get on like Facebook or Instagram, people I'm like, oh yeah, give them a little heart, right? But it is never something that comes straight to my mind of like, oh, and my daughter's birthday is this weekend. And like, I literally have the party planned. Like I can't even imagine waking up and making her a sign and a balloon arc. I mean, we'll make her special breakfast, but like probably one of my organizational skills are not rocking. I got me some ADHD that definitely impacts that.
That's fair. That's fair.
And two, I don't know if that is how I like feel celebrated and loved. So maybe that's part of the reason I don't do those things for my kiddos. I don't know. What do you think about all of this?
So I have I'll be real. I do have a little bit of a hard time. Like when, I don't want to say I have a hard time. I have a little bit of a reaction when I saw a post on Facebook shortly after school started, and it was like this lady that had a whole setup, right? After the first day of school, and supposedly the whole maybe it wasn't real. It was like this whole setup on the kitchen.
Supposedly.
Yeah, purportedly. There's this like whole setup on the kitchen island, and there's like this big sign. It's like, welcome home, first day of school. And it had like all these balloons and like cupcakes and cookies and, a little sign that was like, tell me all about it. And, she's standing there in this like beautiful outfit and like had, to take that picture, you had to like set the whole thing up, put your ring light up in the stand and like, you know what I mean? Like, set your camera up and do all that. And like, that's all fine.
Fine. There's quite some tune with that fine.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You caught me. I think the first thing that happens in my brain is like, who has time for that? Like legit. It's probably because I have, and like, I know we're going to talk about this on another day, but like, because I work and I work like absolutely full time. I just don't like the first day of school is a big deal. And it already comes with like, let's make sure we have all the school supplies. And do you have a water bottle? And did we get there on time? And did we get to meet the teacher night? And did we meet the teacher, the correct one? And did we go to the right room? And did you brush your hair? And I understand you'd like to wear mascara now, and let's not poke our eye out. And did you take your meds? And did I pick you up on time? And
yeah.
Like
it's so many other things.
Yeah, it's like already so much to work into life, and like we're getting back into the routine that to add in another like production, I feel overwhelmed for the woman in the beautiful outfit, I think.
Yeah.
And so like when I see those things that are like these like super what feels over the top to me, like either first day of school or birthday party posts or whatever, that's my reaction is I feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it.
Maybe that is it. And I think, like, I don't know, do you also feel like it's like this pressure that comes
Yes.
with that piece, right? And so
Yeah.
it's funny because I always said, like, I don't know if I show love that way, but like, I think my daughter would be over the moon if I made her a balloon arc and a fancy sign for her birthday, right? I think she would
Probably.
totally be over the moon. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I think? I think she would like it to be really sparkly.
100% with lots of glitter and pop and brick colors. And if I got some Olivia Rodrigo stuff in there, she would be over the moon.
Amazing.
Amazing.
And right now, like claw clips are the thing. So you'd have to get like a bunch of
Yes.
the claw clips. Yep.
And I just think of like that's a lot of pressure. And I also, here's the other thing that goes in my mind is say I can pull it off this time. What does she expect next time? Dun dun.
I know. Okay, so my daughter's birthday was last weekend, and so we had this so we did the first part of the birthday party at a trampoline park, which was like, it went fine, all the things, whatever. And then it was like, oh, the celebrating, yay. And then, we take the girls back and they have a sleepover. And so I tried to keep the decorations to like a moderate amount, meaning I bought a kit on Amazon. Right? And it was like, wow, it was like $12. And it had like the most amazing description on it. It was like, happy fun birthday celebrate.
I love it. Obviously, ChatGPT poor translation.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. And so, you had to like string together all the letters and whatever. And so I did all that, hung it up. And so it's just like a banner and some like pom-poms you have to assemble, right? And then it came with balloons that you had to blow up, but I was sick. And so she came home, blew up all her own balloons. She was fine with.
Yes.
But we had like 30 balloons just like floating around on the floor. And that was it. Right. And so then she has this sleepover. They're up till midnight, which means I'm up till midnight. And they all go home. We have to clean the whole thing up. And then the next day she's like, hey mom, can we go to Bath and Body Works so that I can spend my money that I got for my birthday? And I was like, you can stand outside. I'm all done entertaining you. Like, I just can't with you anymore. I'm all done celebrating you.
At that point, yeah. And I think that's a big piece of it is like, how full is our cup, right? Like, I don't know. I think that's part of the thing and maybe why I'm not a big celebrator because I feel like my plate is super full with so many other things that it's hard to, like I said, get my brain around doing it. But then even create the space and time to do it. And I think those are great things if it works for your family. And that's how you feel, like that's how you show love or how your kiddo feels love. I think those are awesome. But I do think there's this giant pressure for us as parents to like orchestrate and create this perfect childhood for kiddos. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think probably for me, because my love language is big, big, big. I lean heavy into words of affirmation. Heavy. And so I do that all of the time. That and like touch. And so I'm like super affectionate, both verbally and physically with my girls. And so like big gifts, big like, kind of visual displays are just not really a thing that comes to mind for me naturally. But, it's interesting to try to keep that in mind for me because my youngest literally asks for, Mom, can we have balloons? And so then I did make sure we had balloons, right? I mean, she blew them up, but we had balloons.
She made sure she had balloons.
She made sure she had balloons, which I think is okay, right?
Yes.
They can ask for what they need. But I think like if we break down what is the goal, right? Like, so what are we trying to accomplish here? If we get to something that's productive, kind of like a thought process, like a takeaway, what is the goal? What are we trying to accomplish for our kids in celebrating these times? In making memories, right? Like we've talked about rituals. And so, you mentioned a second ago, if I do it this year, what is the expectation next year? And so I think there is kind of this, like, are we making this thing a ritual or is this a one-off? and
That's a
how do
great
we
point.
kind of like set those expectations. But so what do you think about like, okay, and so we've talked a lot about events, but I think there's also this concept about like perfect, the perfect childhood and things like making sure our kids are always in the perfect activities,
Yes.
you know?
Or the ones they want, right? The ones their little hearts dream of.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And exactly the
Yeah.
right one.
Hmm.
So what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah. I think this is hard for us as parents, right? Because we do have that pull where we're like, I want them to want the things. I want them to be able to do all the things their little hearts desire. And the reality is that doesn't always add up, right? And that doesn't align for whatever reasons. But I think about like in my family, I have a kiddo who has been doing boxing for like the last 2 years and he loves it. Like he loves the boxing piece. It is a giant piece of who he is, like who he thinks he is, right? And he likes it also because it's different. There are not very many people that are like, yeah, I'm a boxer. So he just like, there's so many pieces that he just really likes. However, with our family and some of the shifts we've had to make, like it doesn't fit into our lifestyle. I literally can't get him to the gym. He is doing school sports now. So he is beyond exhausted by the end of the day.
Mhm.
And so it became really challenging for our family. And we had to like make a hard decision of like, hey, dude, we're not going to be able to do this for this season. And that just hurt his little heart, which then hurt my heart because I wish I could, right?
Yeah. Okay. So when you say it hurt his heart, what does that look like? Right? So play it out. Like so if we're watching it on
Yeah.
TV, what does that look like?
Yeah. So I think it definitely looks like lots of he's my like fast kid, so he like gets angry fast, he gets over it pretty fast, right? So for
Yeah.
him, it was like literally like you've taken the thing that makes me who I am. You've
Mhm.
taken the only piece, the thing that motivates me to do my life. How dare you? You don't care about me.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, that is his perspective. And yes, like those are all the things that he feels like are true, probably. And y'all inside, I am like breaking. Like, I wish I could take you. We'll figure it out. I'll move mountains to make sure you can go to
I know.
boxing, right? Like
Yep.
that's like literally the inside narrative in my little heart. My heart's breaking. But I can't. Like, I just can't. We have tried for 3 months to move the mountains to make this work, and it is just way too much, way too hard right now in this season. And so I
Yeah.
think it looked like a lot of that. And so it was like we have to shift this. Like we can't. This can't be your version of your perfect childhood, and helping to support him in that. And that doesn't mean we came up with a compromise, right? So it wasn't like all or nothing. We can't get you to boxing because it's 12 miles away in ridiculous traffic and all the things and the time stinks. But there is a MMA gym that he could walk to. And
Yeah.
so it's like, we'll make a compromise. If being a fighter is super important to you, if that is definitely something that you enjoy and feel good about, well, let's try a different one for this season.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's hard as a parent because we don't want our kids to be hurting and we don't want to be the reason for that pain in some ways, right? It's like,
Yeah.
and so I think it's really hard as a parent because we know they're hurting and we know it's going to be challenging and can't do it all.
So
Can't do it all.
I have a question. Do you think it is
Yeah.
better for kids to have this perfect, wonderful childhood that is full of magic and rainbows and flowers and butterflies? Or do you think it's better for kids to experience some frustration and let down and be coached through it?
I think life is full of experiences and letdowns. And I think we want our to me, I think of like childhood as practice, right? So it's like practicing and learning the skills to go into I'm a sports person, so like the arena of grown-ups, right? And so I think like having lots of practice in building skills to have disappointments
Yeah.
is super helpful and important, right? And like not that I want to be the one that gets to orchestrate all of these disappointments because I don't.
I mean, it's not like I'm suggesting you like push him down on the ground and be
Yeah.
like,
Aha, you can get up.
but
But I do think like there's the reality is they're gonna happen. I don't know. What
yeah.
do you think?
I mean, 100%, right? Like, I think if we talk about how important frustration tolerance is, Right.
Yes.
So that's something like we haven't really talked about yet, but building that frustration tolerance and tolerance for discomfort, right? Like, what does that look like? And kind of building that muscle. That's not something we are born with. And when we are helping our kids kind of create that ability to sit with something that's uncomfortable, have that first initial disappointment, that initial like letdown, and then like feel it and be able to then pivot, right?
Yeah.
So like where is he now with the like whole boxing situation?
Yeah. Like I said, he's a very fast. So, I mean, y'all, it's been like, I mean, Katie, it's been like 24 hours.
Hmm.
Now 48. But he came home yesterday and he is like, let's go to the gym. When do I get to go to the gym? When do I get to see it? And so I think he's excited about the new thing,
The new gym.
the new gym. But I think the reality is, and I know, and I'm expecting, like, there are going to be moments where he's like still mad, right? Like he has a punching bag outside. He's got a fast bag and a whatever. I don't even know what the words are. He's got lots of punching bags.
A
So
fast bag.
speed bag, that's the word. It's called a
Okay.
speed bag. But I know like there's gonna be moments where it's like, you didn't give me boxing. And that's gonna be true, right? And that's gonna
Yeah.
be, yeah, I know. We can't do it right now. It doesn't mean forever. It just means right now. And I think that's a big thing I use with him. And that's the truth, right? I think once our like this season of whatever it shifts and settles, and he's pretty close to driving, then he can get his own bottom there. I don't care with that. That's totally fine with me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a thing that we use sometimes with our like therapy kids, or we do the grant in fantasy what you can't in reality.
I love that one. I do.
Your
I love it.
face.
So you're right.
Your face, like,
Duh.
yeah. So that's one of my favorites with my kids when they're
Yeah.
really irritated about a certain situation, right? Like we can't do something that they've wanted to do, or we have to stop doing something. And so obviously like the way that it sounds, right, is like, gosh, I really wish we could do that too. Wouldn't that be awesome if we could just like keep going? Or wouldn't it be great if? And so I use it a lot for things like they want to go to Disney, right? Or they want to go back to Mexico, or they want to, whatever they want to do. They want to spend the day at the pool,
Yeah.
or they want to sleep in, or so then the language sounds like, gosh, wouldn't that be great if we could? And this is what we have to do, right? So it's like I'm joining them in like the feeling of it, and knowing that like that's just not where we are,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes. I love that one. And I think the other way that I use that one is like, I wish we were at the beach,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, oh, yeah, if we were at the beach right now, what would we be doing? Like we're driving down the car,
Yeah.
right? And they're like, oh, I'd be doing X, Y, Z, or yeah, and I'd be watching you, or we'd be digging up the thing. I think it's fun too, especially when it's like those places or things that y'all did as a family. Then if we're granting it in fantasy, right? If we're playing along in that fantasy, we're also like connecting and we're bringing them deeper into those relationships and we're reminiscing. And so I do think that's also a really cool way to use that. It's been helpful for me too.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. So I think like generally the thought process to me is like we we get kind of these pressures about creating a perfect childhood, but in reality, our goal is like to love our kids well, to connect well with them, to celebrate them when the moment calls for it,
Yeah.
and to allow them space to feel disappointed or let down, and to kind of help them through it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the pressure of the perfect childhood means a lot of work for us as parents. And so giving them the tools can be really beneficial too.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thank y'all for joining us today. Wishing you naps that last, dinners everyone actually eats, and laundry that folds itself.
Our music is by Stephen Bedall. If you're loving these conversations, we'd be so grateful if you followed the podcast, left a review, or shared this episode with a friend. That's how we grow this little front porch community. And remember, the days are long,
but the years are short. While we often talk about mental health, this should not be used as a substitute for mental health treatment. If you or your child are struggling, please reach out to a local provider.